possible new leak for the upcoming Transcendent Dokkan Campaign. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here today. We have a potential leak for the upcoming Transcendent Dokkan Campaign that will be coming in the month of July. As we have previously discussed, Dokkan has shifted back to their original schedule, with GDC coming in September, previously the worldwide celebration, and Transcendent Dokkan Campaign taking its place back in the month of July during what would be the Tanabata celebration in JP and Global's anniversary, mentioning specifically that this year is going to be one of the bigger years for the celebration. And with that, we're going to break down what all of that means in accordance with this potential leak. Now, this leak came out a few days ago on the 27th, and I hadn't had time to address it, but I feel like addressing it now as it does impact kind of how I want to discuss our TDC prep guides and our GDC prep guides. So just to kind of overview, right, it is in French, but basically what it says is that this person is an animator at, or knows an animator at Akatsuki, and they have a lot of respect for those that have the animators have been working, and basically that what they have shared with them is that the upcoming Tanabata celebration, TDC celebration, will be an LR to a very special film. So there's a lot that can mean, and in this video we're going to break down 3 potential options that they could be referring to. Now, as always with any leak, there is no confirmation. Even if the leak ends up being right, even if it comes from a well-known source, although this one doesn't per se, right? We don't have any confirmation that the animator is actually currently working for Akatsuki, but that is to say that, right, no matter what, always take these leaks with a grain of salt, as things could change, right? What they've seen, what they could work on could be for a later celebration and not one that's coming up. So with that said, let's go ahead and let's hop into the first likely scenario. Now, they do mention a film that is special. Well, there's a couple different options here, and I want to build off of something they've already started. You see, back during New Year's, they did a New Year's superhero celebration, and while the team did get filled out quite well through the EZAs of the Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 and the LR, Gohan, and Piccolo, there's still a little bit lacking for the team, right? Especially as it moves into the newer fights. They were really great for the artificial life forms fights, but they can still struggle in some of these newer fights. Not to say that they're bad, but what it tells me is that, you know, I always felt like the team was missing like one more good LR to push the team forward. And I think that is the first place we could be looking at. Here for the Transcendent Dokkan Campaign, I believe one of the potential films they could be looking at is Dragon Ball Superhero. They could potentially release a new transforming Beast Gohan. This version of Beast Gohan is the only Beast Gohan we do not have. We have a active skill Beast Gohan. We have a standalone Beast Gohan. So possibly for Tanabata, we could see a Gohan with that transformation sequence into a playable Beast Gohan. That would be very cool, and it would work very well with the New Year's units. Just to help push out that major damage, right? Because really, the New Year's units, while you can build a team centered around Gohan and Piccolo, the New Year's units actually work much better when you center them around the Gammas, which is kind of surprising, right? The Gamma side actually tend to push the damage a little bit higher. So something worth considering. They could do that. This could lead into a Part 2 Carnival Coin LR Orange Piccolo, right? We don't have a standalone Orange Piccolo or transforming Orange Piccolo for that matter. Although I guess the giant form is technically transforming the Tech LR. So this would be a great place to do that. And of course, Superhero is a special film in the sense that it is the last film that Toriyama helped work on before he worked on Daima, and of course before his passing. So maybe that's what they mean, right? It's the last Dragon Ball film before all that. Maybe that's what they mean by special. So that's option number one. Option number two is a little more out there, but I do think it kind of fits. Option number two would center around Fusion Reborn, right? Now, I know what you may be thinking, right? Well, right, Fusion Reborn, we just got a Super Gogeta during 10th anniversary. Why would we get a new one? Well, here's the thing, right? There's a reason I brought up this guy first. I actually think if they wanted to do it, all right, for addressing Fusion Reborn, not only could they bring us another Janemba, maybe an LR transforming, or just a new standalone Janemba. I mean, the old one's old enough as it is that we could justify a new one. But Super Saiyan 3 Goku from this movie, he has a lot he can work with, right? His opening transformation sequence into Super Saiyan 3 with the inverted colors, probably one of the most iconic Super Saiyan 3 transformations that we've gotten aside from his initial appearance. So there's that. Then, of course, we have the Super Dragon Twin Fists, which people love, and it was a big shame to see this portion of the LR Goku and Vegeta get it. And not very well done. So they very well could do a new version of that with some updated animations, possibly even those Dokkan original animations. So there's a lot they could work with, right? It's focusing Fusion Reborn around the Super Saiyan 3 as opposed to Gogeta. We don't need another Gogeta. Let's give Super Saiyan 3 some hype. Now, if that doesn't float your boat, our third option's probably one of the more likely options, and I say this because, right, as Dragon Ball Legends leaves its 8th anniversary, Dokkan will be entering Tanabata Celebration. And of course, we know that Dragon Ball Legends is doing its 8th anniversary centered around the Super Saiyan God Gogeta and the Broly from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. They could mean special in this case by releasing another Dokkan's own version, right, of these characters. Granted, these characters both exist. Well, I guess the superhero ones do too. These characters are both part of the 9th anniversary, and are likely to get their Easy A next year during the 12th anniversary. So this could not happen, but we don't have a standalone Gogeta Blue. This could be the chance to do it. They could also just do tag blues, right? Without the god form, like just straight up tag blues, active skill Gogeta, right? For one of them, right? They could do something like that. It could work, but I could do standalone Gogeta Blue and then part 2 LR, standalone full power Super Saiyan Broly. No transformation, no nonsense, just given to us straight up. This could be what they mean by special film here, as it's also coinciding with Legends addressing the film as well. Could be an option. Now, I do think that I do think this is the least likely of the options because of the 9th anniversary. I think you can do a little more to get away with doing a new Transforming Beast Gohan because we got the superhero celebration this year than doing a full Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, knowing that those EZAs are on the horizon. And Gogeta is someone who tends to be an anniversary LR, especially. So, that's worth considering. But with that said, right, those are my 3 options for this leak, what it could potentially mean. I don't think there's really many other films that really fit this. You could say Resurrection of F, right, being that it was the film that sort of brought Dragon Ball back, so to speak, but I don't think that that's what it is. Honestly, I do think it's probably one of these 3 movies, but we shall see. So guys, that is it for our video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, what film do you think they might be referring to? What film do you think is worthy of Transcendent Dokkan Campaign? Again, the reason I wanted to address this leak and talk about it is it will impact our TDC prep guides and our GDC prep guides. Now knowing that TDC is potential movies, we're going to have to adjust our GDC prep guides as well. So we'll have to make adjustments there, and I wanted to get this out there and kind of see what you guys are all thinking. What do you expect to see for Transcendent Dokkan Campaign? Who do you expect to see on the banner? That'll be our next video. So guys, that's it for the video. If nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.